On this episode of Arts Weekly, I'm speaking with Leslie Horman and Harvey Cox from the Fort Wayne Youtheatre.
They have a natural inclination to, to act, to skip and to be heard, and to role play the stories that they hear, to act them out. It's a natural transition for childhood into performing arts.
And Charles Shepard from the Fort Wayne Museum of Art.
We were interested in ideas of identity within our country, and of course our country is made up of people from every different country. How do you come to your identity, and what comes with you, and what came with your parents, and how does it get reflected? That artist might reflect that.
This is Arts Weekly.
Arts Weekly is a production of the College of Visual and Performing Arts at IPFW, offering degrees in fine arts, music, theater, and visual communication and design. IPFW, the energy of arts.
Hello, this is Chuck O'Connor, and you're watching Arts Weekly. Joining me is Leslie Horman and Harvey Cox from the Fort Wayne Youtheatre, and they're here to talk about their upcoming season. Welcome to you both, and welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having us.
You know, as we speak, you're in rehearsal for A Christmas Carol. It's going to be opening on December 16th at Arts United Center, Harvey. You're adapting and directing.
Yes, I am.
I'm
wearing two hats. We have 36 actors and 108 costumes also to get together. I've always been in love with A Christmas Carol. When I was 9 years old, I played Tiny Tim in Akron, Ohio, I think it was. And later on, I played Bob Cratchit with my late wife. And then Civic Theater invited me to play Scrooge one time. So I've always been involved with the Christmas Carol somewhere every 10 years or so. And I have a beautiful cast. I have Larry Bauer, who is a local favorite, playing Scrooge. Teresa Bauer is playing Mrs. Cratchit. And Andrew Bauer is playing Jacob Marley, the ghost. We changed the ghost name to Spirits. We tried to soften it a little bit for children. Because I tried it on a couple of kids in our summer camp, for instance, and they said, oh, it's a frightening show. And what they zeroed in on was the last ghost, who is a specter, who points mainly, has a black cloak on. So I've substituted Flower Girl for the specter.
You're right. It does have those ghosts of past and present and future can be sometimes a little scary for kids, but not really. This is a play for
I have
children,
Scrooge
right?
saying, I don't like the word ghost. It kind of upsets him a little bit. Can I call you a spirit? The first one who appears to him. Christmas Past is the first one. And also, we've let Scrooge be more human in that he falls off his chair, for instance, in the office. He steps into the coal pail bucket and one time. And Bob Cratchit has a trouble time getting his hat and coat on, his scarf and his gloves. He's choked to death. So we've had a lot of what we call slapstick comedy to it also.
You know, a lot of people know Christmas Carol as a play or perhaps a movie or, starring the Muppets or whatever, but we forget that it started off as a novel written by Charles Dickens.
Mr. Dickens really did a beautiful job.
Exactly, and you're adapting it to the stage yourself. You're rewriting it. What are the challenges of adapting a novel like that?
Well, number one, the number of characters involved, and trying to stay true to Mr. Dickens is probably the hardest thing. And having adult actors playing Scrooge, for instance, and Bob Cratchit and Mrs. Cratchit, and then having children playing the spirits or the ghosts or many of the other major roles. Trying to find a way to make it logical for children to be appearing on the stage in adult roles. So I have it open on a bare stage of the Drury Lane Theatre on the 10th anniversary of Charles Dickens' publication.
So it's a play within a play.
Yes,
so
exactly.
It's a play within a play. And there are true trunks. And it seems that it's theater companies have invited to present this play, but their vans have gone off in different directions. They've been lost in a terrible storm, so they have no props. They don't have any actors. So they've recruited their junior company to play most of the roles.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's
well, we
very
hope so.
That's very theatrical.
Well, yes, it is.
We'll come back a little bit to the Christmas Carol
Thank you.
because, like I say, it's one of my favorite plays, and it has a lot of meaning to it.
I love it. I just
about
love
the
it.
Christmas season that I think is important.
It's a great story.
It is a great story. But Leslie, the youth theater is really growing and really doing a lot of exciting things right now, and particularly you're beginning to, or you always have. But tell us a little bit about some of the classes that youth theater is offering.
Well, we've always been known for our classes. We have 12 different classes that are offered on Saturday in different levels of theater. We have voice, dance, stagecraft, so you can get behind the scenes as well. We have a very popular comedy class, comedy and improv. And we have a very popular class, radio theater. That's one of our newest classes.
Well, tell us a little bit about that. That seems interesting.
It's great. It's offered at Summit City Radio, which is the home of Rock 104 and Wild 96 and WGL. And these kids come in and they learn everything. They learn how to produce a commercial. They learn how to voice track, how to DJ.
Wow.
It's just great. And they've produced some really great commercials that we've used for youth theater. They've produced all of our curtain recordings, our curtain talk recordings, and they're learning a vocation in addition to the art of theater.
That is so special to be able to work in a real radio station and doing radio theater and doing the commercials on behalf of youth theater. What a great experience.
It really is a great experience. And we work with kids from 4 years all the way to 18, and there's so many different things they can do, so many different aspects of theater.
What do you have for the little kids?
Well, we have the pre-creative drama, and that's a lot of moving and grooving, a lot of puppetry. We call it Let's Show Off time. And you have a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old. They have a natural inclination to act, to skip and to be heard, and to role play the stories that they hear, to act them out. It's a natural transition for childhood into performing arts. And it's just, we work with the little kids, and they're just great. So much energy
too.
No inhibitions, no inhibitions.
Yeah,
they don't have the trappings of, I got to look cool.
I know what happens to us.
Yeah, well, then, we get older and a little more jaded.
Where do you offer those classes for the pre-kindergarten, preschool?
We actually offer them at the Arts United Center on Saturday mornings, and we also offer, we have an off-site Tuesday mornings at 10 o'clock. And that's at Abacus Daycare Center.
Abacus Daycare. And how does one, if you have a child that's interested, how do you sign up for a class?
It's easy to sign up. You can do it by calling us, 422-6900.
Yeah.
Or you can actually sign up online at our website, fortwayneyoutheatre.org.
And as we're taping the show today, it's late December, mid-December. When do classes start?
Classes will start the week of January 17th. That's second semester. You can register for classes anytime. If you'd like a sneak peek of classes, a great way to do it is to take our winter camp. Our winter camp is the last week of December, December 28th and 29th. It's a real neat 4-hour peek at what the youth theater has to offer. It kind of whets your appetite.
That's coming up. That's great. So many wonderful things going on. For not just for theater productions, but for teaching, of course, theater and other things to kids. I want to talk about some events that are coming up. On February 4th at 8 p.m. Arts United Center, you have Radio Days, which is a fundraising event for youth theater.
Which we're both writing.
And you're both writing.
It's a live radio show.
On the stage.
On the stage.
On the stage.
In the whole spirit of a 1940s radio hour.
And we've done, this is the third one we've done, I think, isn't it? And we get wonderful talent. Everybody volunteers. All the theater groups come together and help us raise money for the youth theater. It's wonderful, wonderful cooperative venture.
Who are some of the people that you have helping in radio?
Melissa Long.
Leslie Beauchamp.
Yes.
Brad Beauchamp, Larry Bauer. Oh my God.
We also have radio DJs, actual DJs.
Yes.
Charlie Butcher from WoWo, Barb Richards from WAJI, Doc West from Rock 104.
Fantastic.
Now the three of those probably have 150 years in radio between them.
Absolutely.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It's going to be fun.
We're going to have a lot of fun with it.
Radio on
dancing.
stage, just the way radio used to be. I mean, radio used to be a live thing that people used to come and watch. And it's still good stuff. And again, that's going to be on February 4th at 8 o'clock at the Art United Center. Rip Van Winkle, you guys are also doing Rip Van Winkle.
Yes, the classic Washington Irving story. Now, the thing about youth theaters, we're very contingent on, very stressful of doing children's literature. And we bring children's literature to life. And Rip Van Winkle, the classic tale by Washington Irving about the lazy man who goes up to the Catskills and comes upon some strange men and drinks a potion and falls asleep for 25 years. It's a wonderful story, and we're going to be doing it with the ballet and the dance collective and their taiko drums. So it's a truly arts collaborative effort.
And that's in late
Leslie
April.
adapted it also.
And Leslie, and you're, who's directing it?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one show I get to direct.
We share everything.
Well, you're right. Both these are classic. Christmas Carol, Rip Van Winkle. These are things that sometimes people are seeing perhaps more on stage than reading, but it's very good that you bring those to stage so that we know those stories.
It's a form of reading.
And that's going to be late April. I think it opens on April 21st.
Yes.
You were just telling me before the show that youth theater is involved with touring different plays. And
We've got Storybook Theater. Storybook Theater is our tour group. We go to libraries. We were part of the big summer reading program. We perform live at libraries, at schools, at youth organizations. And once again, we're taking children's stories and we bring them to life through drama, dance, and song. We just finished up Aesop's Fables, bringing Aesop's Fables to life.
Yes.
And now we're going to be coming up, we're going to be doing African folktales in February. So we reach a lot of kids with that.
And how does one find out where those are being performed? Or is it
on our website.
On the website.
You bet. And also through your library, because the library does a great job of publishing all of our dates and our tours.
Yes, I see. And I know that, Leslie, you're actually, you've been executive director now for about a
year and a half now. Yeah.
Harvey, how long have you been at the youth theater?
30. This is my 33rd year.
So you guys are
33 years.
A good new
30 years on the Broadway stage and 33 years out here.
Yeah, I've got some years to go before I get here.
This is the best part.
Well, keeping our youth exposed to things like theater is so important, especially for...
We're not only developing a confidence in each one of these young people, but hopefully we're creating audiences for the future also.
That's what we hope.
Will go to the Philharmonic, go to the ballet, go to the Civic, and particularly go to the youth theater.
Yes,
good.
And we're hoping that our theater students, ideally, will graduate and become IPFW
Hey, we
theater
like
students.
that. Yeah. Or just become theater goers or theater students anywhere. I agree.
Exactly.
We need theater people. It's all the time we have today, folks. But looking forward to seeing Christmas Carol, and I just think you're doing a wonderful job at Youth Theater. Thank you for what you do.
Chuck.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
very
Always a
welcome.
pleasure. Always a pleasure.
For more information about the Fort Wayne Youth Theater and to find out more about the classes they offer, visit fortwayneyouththeater.org, or for tickets, call 422-6900. Arts Weekly will return in a moment.